Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and hit live on IG now. Good morning. Good morning. Awesome. We are live for real everywhere today. Hopefully it's not too dark for some of you all, and I'll try to stay in a position where you can definitely see me more clearly. And if you are on Instagram, I think you're getting the best lighting ever. So lucky for you all. I'm going to go ahead and hit this record button. All right. So good morning. As I have already stated, this is Dr. Z with Greater Self LLC. Good morning. We are jumping into our Freedom Tea Talk this morning, and we are doing round 2 of pivoting and just looking at how that shows up and what that can mean for you and how it goes. So I'm definitely looking back and forth between 2 cameras and still trying to figure out how to adjust the light. The beauty of being able to pivot and work from anywhere is that you can totally be set up and have everything go totally right. And then it can change. And I'm wondering for you all, as we're like getting close to the end of this year, what types of things have been happening for you all that have caused a significant need, necessity, or opportunity, as another way to put it, for you to explore how you might want to pivot, how you might want to do something a little bit different because the way you've always done it either isn't serving you anymore, it's not getting you the results you're looking for, or you just blatantly don't feel like it. And I know an easy transition to look at is historically when people work out. Let's say you've had an experience of like you used to work out and go hard in the gym and do all these things. And I am 100% speaking from experience. And you were used to, I can go to the gym for 30 minutes, go super hard on weights and like transform, look amazing, 6-pack, boom, there. 10, 15 years later, doesn't quite hit the same way. So that pivot that you might be looking at and having to make is, all right, so what do I need to know about my body now? What do I need to know about what will allow me to get to the space that I'm working towards? Are there things that I already have access to that would afford me the opportunity to do that? Or are there things that I need to maybe incorporate or embody? Are there people I need to reach out to? Do I actually just need to sit, take a break, chill out so that I can get a little more clarity on what my current pivot may look like? And that may mean, believe it or not, slowing down or doing something very different than what you're used to doing. It may mean if you've always been someone who's been comfortable being in the background and being a support, that now it is time for you to start to show up and show out and be in the spotlight, because what you have to offer, there are people just waiting for you to show up so that they can have that, seriously, somebody gets me, somebody understands, but they won't be able to get that if you're not willing to make those small pivots, which might mean getting over a fear of, if you're currently employed by someone, the worry that if you decide to be great, it will prevent someone else from being great, that if you share what you have with the world, that other people may feel differently towards you, that if you show up in your greatest version, it may mean that you're going to lose people that you care about, that you believe care about you, only unfortunately to find out that not that their level of care wasn't significant, but that the way they cared for you was based on what you can afford and provide them. Understand, some people 100%, and as humans, we all do this to a certain component, but some people genuinely appreciate and love you and will be there for you based on what you can do and afford them. What that means is you now having to take inventory of, are you doing this for you or are you doing this for other people? Are you doing what you do for a great story because when you introduce yourself, you can say, oh, I do dot, dot, dot. And then that feels so good to you that you're willing to suffer in the background and not get access to what you need, like literally the possibility of being able to survive, because you want to hold on to the story. You're not willing to take that pivot or take the opportunity to do something different that you've always wanted to do anyways, that you're really great at, that would allow you to help more people. My assumption, if you're listening, whether it's a replay or you're live with me now, it's because you want to help people in some capacity. The way you may do that could be in a direct service that you provide to them, i.e. a therapist providing therapy. It could be even as a paraprofessional in the mental health field. It could also be a matter of maybe you provide a service like helping people get financing, helping people do their jobs better in the role of like a manager or a supervisor or a CEO of a company, where you provided people the opportunity to have employment that they may be able to help other people. If you are doing those things, you being here is because maybe there was just a little bit of interest in how you can do that better, how you can do that on purpose, and what that pivot may look like so you can show up as the greatest version of yourself. For anyone that is currently in the audience and just listening along, as you are totally a part of my podcast and the experience, I'm just wondering, have any of you ever had an ideal or a dream or a position that you totally wanted to embrace and you, for whatever reason, didn't go for it or you held back? And if you did, I would just say at this point, just drop an emoji. Like, it doesn't even matter which one, but like you thought about it. It was a great idea. It felt right, like physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even financially. And for whatever reason, you saw the opportunity. You actually did have and know everything you wanted, and you did not choose to take that pivot at that point in time. I know sometimes there can be a mini lag, and that's totally okay. Sometimes I feel like IG is probably the fastest platform at times, but when you are streaming to multiple locations, it can be a little bit harder to get those responses for me to be able to see them and for them to connect. Either way, let's say you have, and maybe at this point, this is one of those pivotal moments. You're like, I'm not willing to acknowledge that right this minute. It's totally fine. What I would encourage you to do, as we're like a couple of days, literally a couple of days until the end of the year, is look at when you wake up. Oh no. When you wake up in the morning and you're doing what you're doing, are you doing it for you and a greater purpose and goal that you've set for yourself? Are you looking at how you can make various different pivots that will allow you to wake up and be excited to go do the work? And yes, there may be aspects that you don't like, but in general, you physically feel good, you mentally feel good, emotionally, you feel like you're in the right place and you're able to really be the best version of you, even if you are learning something new. Part of those pivots may require you to learn a new skill, and not because it's something you're going to need to do forever, but it's going to support you in being able to find the right people to help you, because you now have an ideal of what it should look like, can look like, and can be, that you can explain to someone else who actually has more knowledge and skills, and be in the know to where you can totally, good morning, to where you can totally help them support you. So what that looks like is, yes, you may be helping other people and providing services, but you learned how to maybe market so that someone else can start sharing information that you have to give and actually promoting you and doing it because they're on your team, or doing it just as a friend. Like, it costs nothing to share other people's posts. It costs nothing to share what other people have done, i.e. someone just jumped on here that I got some amazing freaking candles from, and they had awesome crystals installed in them. It was like, they were fire. You guys should check out Joy Healing Jewels, just FYI, putting that out there. But as I was getting back to looking at these pivots, give yourself a chance this year. Like, feel free to jump out there and try something different, do something different. The worst thing that can happen is you learn something new and you go from there. Now, I'm not sure what is happening with my phone, but it is like going black and clear. So if you guys are still out there in IG or on any of the other platforms, if you have any questions, I'll stay on for a little bit longer, but I definitely want to make sure that you all have a chance and an opportunity to jump in. Okay, still live. Awesome, awesome. Jump in, ask questions, or maybe even just put out there, what kind of pivots are you going to be making for this year? What's it going to look like? Are you going to try something new? Are you going to expand on something else? Are you going to release that thing that nobody knows about, but only you and maybe one other person? Are you going to go for that promotion? What are you all pivoting for this year? What types of things will you be bringing in, letting go of? And that can be another pivot. Letting go of things, deciding that, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to let it go, either because someone else can do it better, or you recognize this doesn't serve me, and I'm not going to be walking and doing things that don't serve me. Well, I'll stay on for like a couple of more minutes, but just kind of recapping those various different pivots. It can be new job, new relationships, new positions, new offerings to other people. It can also be releasing of things, so letting go of jobs, relationships, people, careers, roles, or positions you played in people's lives that no longer support you, and looking at how you can move into a space of showing up in a way that feels good for you. And everybody's not going to be a fan, and that's okay. But the quicker you start taking action and moving in a vibration, an alignment, and a vibe that works well for you, the quicker you're going to see those dreams that you've been afforded and you've been given, and those visions coming to fruition. It doesn't happen by accident that you get the dreams and ideals that you get. It happens because those are things we're supposed to be following. Hence, in 2023, I can't wait for the next round of Greater Therapist Vibes. And while it says therapist, please understand everybody is providing a therapeutic service in their own way. And if that's you, if you're a business owner, if you are someone that is maybe specifically in the mental health field, like, you should definitely check this out. The wait list is up. There will definitely be some more events in 2023. And I am really excited that my team and I will be taking off next week so that we can recover, rejuvenate. And I decided this year, the beginning of 2022, that from here forward, I will always be taking the first week of January off, because the way that felt and the opportunity to be able to relax when everyone else was working was pretty freaking awesome. So I hope you guys are setting some things up for the end of this year and beginning of next year also. Well, with that, I hope you have an amazing day. Happy New Year. And I look forward to seeing you all next year. The first week we will be off, but our Tea Talks will be returning the second week of January with some other great announcements too. So please do make sure you subscribe to our email list. You are subscribed or sign up on these various different platforms, and that you do check us out. We also have a text messaging service that we can send you updates on current events also. Feel free to text us at 626-722-5661. And again, have an amazing day. Happy New Year. Thank you all for your time and energy. I appreciate you all.